Chapter 3, Runway Honeymoon. When we got home, Monica thanked me for the necklace. She then revealed that Honey told her the reason why I wasn't involved in the wedding process. That Honey has a big mouth. I looked at Monica and smiled devilishly. You don't think you are going to sleep tonight, are you? I carried her to our marital bed and made love to her for the rest of the night. The next day we boarded a private plane to Europe. We had just got in the plane when my phone rang. Hearing the sound made Monica nervous. She probably thinks that it might cancel our trip. If it's work-related, she sat across from me holding up her phone while pretending not to listen. I looked at the caller ID and saw that it was one of my friends. What? I asked angrily. I don't give them the chance to lie and said, I already heard the conversation she had with my secretary. It was fortunate that Honey recorded their conversation. I lied and said, I've already called several police stations and hospitals. None of them confirmed that she was in an accident. Adrian, she wasn't trying to ruin your wedding. You're saying I should have left Monica at the altar. What? He asked, confused. Why, we'll send you guys the recording, then you can try and make a case for her. I sent it to them to shut them up, including Nicole. My phone rang again. This time it was Nicole herself. What, Adrian, it was just a prank. That was her excuse last time too. I brushed it off last time, but I am not falling for any sad crying this time. What were you intending to get out of that prank? You knew yesterday was my wedding day, yet you decided to pull a tasteless prank like that. What if I had been the one to answer the phone? Did you expect me to leave Monica in the wedding hall? What do you think would have happened to Monica if I had answered the phone and fallen for your prank? She would have been humiliated if I had left her there. Your jokes and excuses are irresponsible and tasteless, Nicole. Adrian, I'm sorry. You better not call me again, I said as I angrily put my phone away. Monica looked at me puzzled and asked, what was the prank about? I sighed and smiled as I played the recording. Hey, bitch, stop calling. Don't you know that the owner of this number is getting married tonight? Monica's eyes widened after hearing Honey's voice. And who are you to talk to me like that? I'm his secretary, and your frequent phone calls is disrupting my boss's wedding. Monica smiled at me and asked, since when? I smiled at her as we continued to listen to the recording. I was in a car accident. I need help. Well, seeing as you had enough consciousness to call this phone number several times, why didn't you just call the emergency hotline? Monica laughed as there was no fooling, Honey. I'm in the hospital. Which hospital? Why do you need him there? Listen, ma'am, if you had been in a car accident, call your mother, your father, your brother or your sister, or any of your other friends, who are not the groom at this wedding. But if you tell me which hospital you are in, I can pass your message to him after the celebration is over. If not, you're lying. Hello, ma'am, are you still there? I couldn't help but laughed alongside Monica. I'm not lying. In that case, you can tell me what hospital you are in. Or should I call a police station in order to find out which hospital you were taken to? Oh, by the way, I am recoding this phone call. You can't do that. That's illegal. No, it's actually not. This is not my phone. This is my boss's phone. And I'm recording you to eliminate the game of telephone. This way I can't be held accountable for any misunderstanding that might occur between you and my boss because of this call. Oh, that's smart. Monica commented. You're a bitch, you know that. No, ma'am, I am just covering my ass. You're the one who disrupted a whole wedding ceremony by calling, even though you knew that my boss was getting married today. I know I was the one who sent the invites. So are you going to give me the name of that hospital now? Nicole, and we ended up laughing hysterically. Honey, so ruthless. We settled down before takeoff. When the plane reached cruising altitude, I sat Monica on my lap and asked her what was the first thing she wanted to do in Europe. I want to visit the castles, then take a walk around their gardens and glass house. I patted her head and said, I will make you a beautiful garden when we get home. A garden would be nice, but what I really want is a huge greenhouse to entertain and have guests. Imagine a greenhouse filled with colorful flowers. I would have breakfast there every day and play the piano while the rain is pouring down. I rubbed her back. We'll do that then. I took a month off work to spend time with Monica in Europe. We went to a lot of different places. From castles to gardens and medieval towns, we tangled up every night. One night I said to her, I will never let you go, Monica Adams, and kissed her. Chapter 4. Returning home. After returning home from our honeymoon, I went back to work. Monica was saddened to hear the news of her friend Honey leaving to study abroad. They kept in touch through Zoom. Monica and I were scheduled to attend an event tonight. It will be Monica's debut into high society. Adrian, this is beautiful, Monica said as she saw the dress I bought for her. Of course, you are making your first appearance as a member of the Addams family. You need to look your best, and I will stay by your side all throughout the evening. She looked at me with a tearful expression and said, "Thank you." I held her chin and kissed her. A lot of familiar faces were at the party, including Nicole and friends. I introduced Monica to some respectable people. When an opportunity came, the friends jumped in as if nothing had happened. "How was your honeymoon, Adrian? Did you have fun?" Monica listened closely to our conversation, looking for a chance to join in. Another asked, "Monica, how was Europe? Where did you go? Was it fun?" "Very, yes. I have only seen those castles in television. It's really different and remarkable when you see them in real life," she said with a smile. "That's right. How was your first time flying? Was it terrifying?" "No, Adrian held me throughout the flight." I smiled at her. Well, I tried not to notice Nicole looking at our direction. I was called over to talk privately by a business executive. I reluctantly left Monica, and sure enough, when I left, Nicole came over to her. "Hello, Nicole, it's been a while." "Likewise." I kept glancing at Monica from across the room. I then noticed her expression turn surprised to somewhat offended, when I realized it was the same conversation with the exact same deal. I rushed to finish the conversation. I overheard some of what they were saying to Monica, her eyes about to tear up as she tried to hold them back. "Monica, come here." She then walked over to me. I glared at my so-called friend and said, "This is how you treat my wife?" "Adrian, we were just joking around, at my wife's expense." They then fell silent. "We were just teasing her. Can't she take a joke?" "Teasing?" What I heard wasn't clearly teasing. When you brought up someone's background into a joke, that is not a joke. "Let's go, Monica," I said. We walked away from them. Watching them bully Monica made me remember all the scheming that they'd done to break us up back then. I made a few phone calls after getting home. While Monica was in the shower a few days later, I overheard Monica talking with someone. "I'm pretty sure he was laughing at you when he heard you call him your boss." "Ha ha," the voice laughed sarcastically. "Anyway, he was really furious with his friends for defending Nicole when they themselves didn't know the situation, so he sent them the recording." "Really? From the way he treated his friends back then, I thought he might be more lenient with them." Speaking of, a few days ago Adrian left me for a few seconds to go talk business executive. I think that's what he was. Anyway, when he left, they then subtly started mocking me. Adrian heard what they were saying to me, and he reprimanded them. They then tried to pass it off as teasing, but he heard nearly everything and he wasn't having it. I looked and she was having a video chat with Honey on her laptop. Maybe I was wrong about him. "I told you Adrian is a good person. An incident or two won't change the fact that he stopped you from bettering yourself." "Has your good-for-nothing family contacted you yet?" "I'm sure word about you marrying one of the country's wealthy billionaire would have reached them by now." "What are you going to do if they start to pester you for money?" "Does Adrian know about them?" "Yes and no. All he knows is that we have a strange relationship. I didn't go to any details, and I don't want to give them any money either. If I do, they will just ask for more in the future. I am not an ATM, besides they will just use the money on that self-centered brother of mine." Honey agreed and said, "I know he has been into gambling recently." "Honey, how can you keep in touch with my family affairs?" she asked angrily. "Monica, have you learned nothing? If you don't keep track of them, one day they will catch you off guard." Imagine them acting all pitiful towards Adrian, making you look bad in return. "What are you going to do then?" My wife then fell silent. I then heard a ding from her laptop. "What's this?" Monica asked. "The reading material for this week's classes. If you can't attend classes physically for your masters, the less you can do is read up on the material even though you can't get a physical diploma. The most important thing is that you know your stuff." "Thanks, honey, don't mention it. You can't spend all day doing nothing, but cook and take care of your husband like a traditional housewife. This way if you ever get divorced, then you have something to fall back on. By the way, I am entering a contest. The winner gets a grant to start a business. If you were here, I could really use your help." Monica smiled. "I know. Anyway, it's getting late now. I have to go. Class is in the morning. Bye Monica, bye honey, take care. I narrowed my eyes and walked away from the door before my wife could notice me. Click like, subscribe to be updated, or click the playlist here.